Do we really need a premium laptop with an Intel Core Ultra processor, an RTX 5070 GPU, 32GB RAM and 2TB of storage? I mean, at over 3 lakh rupees, you could buy a serious gaming laptop or you could buy a gorgeous Ultrabook. But Samsung has done something completely different with the Galaxy Book 6 Ultra. It's a machine that wants to be both. After spending quite a bit of time with this machine, I think that's exactly what makes this laptop interesting. Hello everyone, Aman here for Digit, and this is my full review of the Samsung Galaxy Book 6 Ultra. Let's get started. So the first thing that surprised me the most is the Samsung ecosystem experience. Now yes, this is a Windows 11 laptop. It has Copilot, AI features and all the usual Windows stuff, but honestly that's not what stood out to me. What stood out was how well it works with other Samsung devices. I've been using it alongside a Galaxy S26 Ultra and Galaxy Buds 4 Pro, and the integration is genuinely excellent. If I am listening to music on the laptop and a call comes on my phone, the audio switches automatically. When the call ends, everything picks up right where it left off. Now features like quick share are here, but Samsung has gone a step further with storage share, which allows you to access the laptop's entire 2TB storage directly from your phone wirelessly. There's also clipboard syncing, multi-control, file transfers, drag and drop between devices, and honestly it all works more reliably than I expected. Now for years, Apple owned the conversation around ecosystem experiences. Samsung and Windows still aren't perfect, but they are much closer than many people realize. Now let's talk about the hardware. The Galaxy Book 6 Ultra looks every bit like a premium machine. It's built entirely from aluminium, feels incredibly solid, and despite having a 16-inch display, it is surprisingly manageable. At 1.79 kilograms, it's not exactly light, but for the amount of hardware packed inside, it is impressive. And speaking of the display, this is a gorgeous 16-inch AMOLED panel with a 120Hz refresh rate. It is bright, vibrant, color-rich, and honestly one of the best laptop displays I have used this year. Samsung also includes an anti-reflective coating, and while it doesn't completely eliminate reflections, it makes a noticeable difference when you're working outdoors or traveling. Now Samsung claims up to 1000 nits of HDR brightness, and in real world usage, the screen gets seriously bright. Watching content on this thing is an absolute joy, and the speakers, well, they are fantastic. The 6-speaker setup gets loud, but more importantly, it sounds rich. Vocals are clear, instruments have separation, and there's actual depth and bass here. Have a listen to an audio. But let's get to the real star of the show, that is the performance. Inside you've got Intel's new Core Ultra 7 356H processor paired with an RTX 5070 GPU, 32GB LPDDR5X RAM and 2TB NVMe SSD storage. On paper, that is serious hardware, and in practice, it is even more impressive. For everyday tasks, it is obviously effortless. Writing, multitasking, photo editing, video calls, dozens of Chrome tabs, none of it phases this machine. What interested me more was how it handled heavier workloads, and this is where that combination of Panther Lake and the RTX 5070 really starts to shine. Samsung has tuned the RTX 5070 GPU to a 90-watt TGP, so don't expect Alienware level performance, but that's also missing the point. This isn't a gaming laptop pretending to be productive. It is a productivity laptop that can genuinely game. I played Shadow of the Tomb Raider at high settings with DLSS enabled and comfortably saw frame rates well above 100 FPS. GTA 5 also ran surprisingly well, sitting around the 120 to 150 FPS mark with the right settings. Even heavier workloads never made the machine feel overwhelmed. In fact, I have to tell you about the thermals. It gets warm during gaming, of course it does, but it never became obnoxiously loud or uncomfortable to use. The fans remain surprisingly controlled, and during normal productivity work, the laptop stays cool and quiet. Moving on to the keyboard and trackpad, Samsung has absolutely nailed both. The keyboard has slightly shallow travel, but it is tactile, responsive, and genuinely enjoyable to type on. I have been writing a lot of stuff, notes, articles, and whatnot on this machine without any complaints. The trackpad is again massive, smooth, and easily one of the best I've used on a Windows laptop. Of course, Apple still has the edge when it comes to gesture fluidity, but as far as Windows laptops go, Samsung has done an excellent job here. Battery life is another pleasant surprise. The Galaxy Book 6 Ultra comfortably lasts a full workday for me. On most days, I was getting around 8 hours of usage without worrying too much about the charger. Again, Apple's ARM-powered MacBooks still lead when it comes to sheer battery efficiency, but the gap has become much smaller than it used to be. And that brings us to the final verdict. The question I asked at the start was whether we really need a premium laptop with this much power, and after using the Galaxy Book 6 Ultra, my answer is yes. This laptop looks and feels premium. It has an outstanding display, excellent speakers, strong battery life, powerful performance, and it can even handle gaming surprisingly well. Add Samsung's ecosystem features into the mix, and the overall experience becomes far more complete than what I usually expect from a Windows laptop. Now, is it expensive? Absolutely. At over 3 lakh rupees for the configuration I have, it has to justify its price. Thankfully, it mostly does. Samsung has built a laptop that lets you work hard during the day and play hard once that work is done. And honestly, that's exactly why I think the Galaxy Book 6 Ultra earns the title of a true jack of all trades. Thank you for watching.